Global War 36 enthusiast here with Operation of You to a Kill, AVtaK, turn 12.2 CCP and 12.3 USSR. It is January 1942. The CCP has 3 IPP to spend. I'll purchase nothing and save the 3. I don't have any movement, I don't have any units, so we can advance to turn 12.3 USSR. So I had 4 tech rolls with USSR. First I tried for improved factories, a 7 or higher. PBE generated a 3, so I failed. Second, I tried for improved construction at a 7 or higher. PBE generated a 10, so I succeeded and I complete that tech. Third, I tried for jet fighters at an 8 or higher. PBE generated an 11, so I succeeded and I'm the first player to have jet fighters. Fourth, I tried for strategic rockets at a 9 or higher. PBE generated a 9, so I succeeded. I advanced to stage 4, and I get something for that. Forgot what that is. Sorry to hold you guys down mid-game. Let's see. What do I get for that objective? Tech supremacy. 1 jet fighter and 1 strategic rocket. To be placed at an eligible factory. Okay. Let's see what I want to do here. Rocket and a... You know what I'll do is I'll have the rocket, but I won't... Actually, I'll keep it on the place build units table. Okay, sorry for this. I thought I was prepared, but it was only when I realized that I had succeeded on both rockets and jets as I was moving forward that I realized I got this objective. So, okay. Let's see. One other thing. And then I'll be ready to start my turn. Okay. So, housekeeping. Okay, not really housekeeping, but let's talk about this amazing game. This game, this has been craziness. Okay, so on turn 10.3, I went to war with Germany. The Soviets went to war with Germany, and I attacked Panzer J's navy here in A12. This game, Panzer J had a kind of interesting strategy where he was using the Germans to build a naval armada in the Baltic, but he should have moved his navy into port there in either Eastern or Western Germany, because he had 12 units. At that moment, he didn't have any fighters in West Germany that could have scrambled into C-Zone A12. And he had 12 units there, and I had 14 units there. And I thought it would be mutual annihilation, and maybe my 3 of my 3 planes would survive. That's what I figured was the most likely thing to happen there. But what did happen instead was... I got lucky and I absolutely destroyed his navy, and I had those 5 ships up there survive the heavy cruiser, light cruiser, and the 3 destroyers. So then on turn 11.1, it was Panzer J's move, and I thought for sure he was just going to wipe out my naval units, and I thought, okay, well, I'll kill a few ships as I go down. What I was really excited about is I have that light cruiser there. I thought, I might roll a 1, 2, or 3 and hit another aircraft. But Panzer J didn't attack me that turn. I guess he sized it up and he thought, what are those units going to do? You know, they're worthless. So he didn't attack me. Instead, he moved his 3 advanced subs and 1 normal sub here into the North Atlantic. And then on 12.1, he... well, let me back up. On my turn 11, I did this crazy build where I built 54 militia. And so Panzer J, I've nicknamed him the Willow because he's the player with the greatest strategic flexibility. So I guess he sized that up and said, you know, why do I want to go into the meat grinder there? And so he totally pulled down his Air Force and built up a navy here in southern France. Now he's got 5 destroyers, 2 naval transports, 4 regular submarines, and 3 advanced submarines. So he's got 12 units to take casualties, and then all that aircraft there in southern France. So now I'm wondering, you know, was I a fool to have built all this militia? You know, I've got 54 units that can't leave Russian home country. And I imagine that as these guys ooze their way closer to Panzer J, he's not going to want any part of that, and he's just going to back out. So, on the other hand, I'm conflicted. Was it the right thing for me to do? Did I by building 54 militia, did I make Panzer J go elsewhere? Or was that foolish and I wasted a lot of money? I really want to know your comments. So let me know what you guys think about this game. I want to say that Panzer J's move has thrown everything I thought I knew about this game completely out the window. So I have no idea how the game is going to proceed. So let's move on to purchases. I have 48 to spend with the Soviets, and I've got that free jet. I put that out there. I'm going to keep the rocket on the place units. I'm not going to have enough space, factory capacity, to produce it, so I've got that still in my build box, place units box. So I'm going to upgrade 2 militia to infantry for 4. I'm going to purchase 10 advanced mechanized infantry for 40. That's 44. Here I've got 12 infantry set aside. I had 21 infantry in the place units box and 1 airborne infantry, but I couldn't place them all. So of the 21, I'm pulling out 12, which will leave 9 infantry, and the airborne infantry, and the rocket still to be placed. Okay, let's proceed on to combat movement. We'll look over here in Siberia first. Okay, so from Magadan, 1 militia will move to Amur. From Yakutsk, 1 militia will move to Amur. From Chita, 1 militia and 1 infantry will move to Amur. And from Central Mongolia, 1 cavalry will move to Amur. All right. Then I'm going to come over here to Kola, where I'll be attacking up north there. Sorry about that. Tricky. Well, anyway, you can just barely see off the edge of the map that this militia from Karelia will move, do a walk on, and take over Kola. So the Soviets will go up to 39, Germans will drop to 61. All right, next is in Sea Zone 13, that submarine there is going to raid the convoy line. And off just at the top of the map there, you can see in Sea Zone A5, 1 coastal sub will move over to A8 and perform convoy raiding on the Norway line there. All right, down here in Smolensk, from Leningrad, 1 fighter will fly to Smolensk. from Western Russia, 1 militia will move to Smolensk. From Kaluga Oblast, 1 militia will move to Smolensk. And then down in southern Belarusia, I'm going to have from Orel-Kursk, 1 light armor will move into southern Belarusia, capture that, and then blitz in to, what is this? This is Lubelsky. Now this is assuming, I believe that's true, that all this has is 1 air transport. If it doesn't, then I'm going to make a change. I'll just have this taken with 1 militia, and I won't do this light armor thing. But if that air transport's all by itself, I will blitz in to Lubelsky and kill it with 1 light armor. So that would make me go up 1 for southern Belarusia, and Germany goes down to 60. So the Russians are at 40, Germans are at 60. Okay, now let's talk about what's going on down in Kyiv, which is on map. 1 cavalry, 1 fighter, and 1 tactical bomber will all go into Kyiv. Okay, and that is all my combat movement. Let's roll some dice. All right, let's do the convoy rating. I'll start with the coastal sub that's up there off Norway. The Germans did develop radar this turn, I believe. Oh, they just are stage 1 of radar. Okay, so I get a +1. Red is the attacker. So I do 7, he has 4. That's 3. The max I can do is 2 to that line. And then we'll do the convoy rating in A13 from Sweden. This is a normal sub, so I get a +2. Red is the attacker. So that is a 5 minus 2. That's 3 points of damage, which also maxes that one out. So the Germans lost a total of 5 here. And they drop down to 65. All right. Now we will do the combat in Smolensk. So I've got 2 militia at 1. Miss, and 1 fighter at 6. And that's a hit. He has 1... he has an elite airborne in a city, so he's at 4. I rolled an orange dice, but this is a hit, even though it's white. It's a 4. Should have picked the yellow die. Didn't factor in the city until after I rolled it. So he hits me in Smolensk. So I do capture Smolensk with a militia, and that makes Mother Russia go up to 41, and Germany drops to 59. Okay, and then the next attack is in Kyiv. I've got a cavalry crossing a river, so it's 1 shot at 2. And then that's a miss. Then I've got a fighter at 6. That's a hit. And just to be on the safe side, I've got the tactical, and that's a hit. Okay, so he's got 1 at 5. I believe, I'm pretty sure, hold on, let me triple check. I believe medium armor defend at 5. But now I'm flummoxed. As Hambone says, when the camera goes on, the brain turns off. It is 5. Okay, so he's got 1 at 5. And that's a hit. So I don't take Kyiv. He holds it, but I lose cavalry. All right, and then we've got that attack in Amur. I have 3 militia and 1 infantry at 4, or at 1 going into the mountains. 4 at 1 is what I meant to say. Shoot, I was hoping to get a hit with that. And then I've got the 1 cavalry at 2. Miss. He's got 1 at 2 in defending. Miss. So I've got the 4 at 1. Miss. And I've got 1 at 2. Miss. He's got 1 at 2. Miss. 4 at 1. Hit. And his retaliatory strike at 2. Hit. Okay. So I will lose a militia. And I take a Moor with 2 militia, 1 infantry, and a cavalry. Russia goes up to 42, and Japan goes down to 53. All right. That is the end of combat. Now we will do non-combat movement. Let's start over in Siberia. If Panzer J is the willow, Hambone is the herbicide, because he kills weeds. Okay. From southern Yakutia, which is this, I believe. Or is this? Wait, southern Yakutia. It's right here. From southern Yakutia, 1 militia moves to Yakutsk. From eastern Yakutia, no. Oh, that's this guy. 1 militia moves to Yakutsk. From Chukotka, 1 militia moves to Yakutsk. From Kamchatka, 1 militia moves to Magadan. So let's put this guy here and this guy here. Is that right? No, I think I messed that up. I think there were 3 in Yakutsk. That's what should happen. Okay, so I've got 1 in Magadan, 3 in Yakutsk. Tried to make this as clear as possible instead of screwing it up. From Irkutsk, 1 militia moves to Chita. From Buryatia, 1 militia moves to Chita. I've got a extra militia here. Gradually, I'm getting all my chips replaced. From Novosibirsk, 1 infantry moves to Angara. I think from Central Mongolia, I'm going to have. I think I'm going to move all 3 infantry to Chita from Central Mongolia. Call in an audible. I was going to leave them there, but I wrote those orders before I saw Hambone's turn, and he denuded. I was worried Singhai would attack into Central Mongolia, but he doesn't have anything other than those 8 cavalry that he could bring. What do I want to do? Yep, I'm going to leave it like that. Okay. Okay, let's move the camera. I hope Novosibirsk was on camera when I made that move. Oh, I see. God, it's out of focus, isn't it? Pardon me for a second. I'm going to clean this edge here a little bit. Maybe that will. Okay, let's see if that does a better job. So Novosibirsk, I moved that infantry over to Angara. Sorry I didn't capture that on camera. All right, let's come over here. All right, so from AVtaK, 1 militia moves to Ural. From Sibir, 1 militia moves to Ural. From Tobolsk, 1 militia moves to Orenburg. From Orenburg, 1 militia moves to Saratov. From Central Kazakhstan, 1 militia moves to Western Kazakhstan. From Eastern Kazakhstan, 1 militia moves to Central Kazakhstan. From Turkestan, 1 militia moves to Western Kazakhstan. From Turkmenistan, 1 militia moves to Western Kazakhstan. From Zarenia, 1 militia moves to Yaroslavl. From, let's move this over a little bit. Okay. From Ural, 1 militia moves to Saratov. Yeah, that is a legal move. From Western Kazakhstan, 1 militia moves to Saratov. From Northern Russia, I'm not sure if that's going to be on camera. It is, okay. From Northern Russia, 1 infantry moves to Western Russia. From Karelia, 1 militia moves to Western Russia. From Yaroslavl, 1 militia moves to Moscow. From Gorky, 1 militia moves to Moscow. From Saratov, 3 militia move to Tula-Lupetsk. From, let's see, Moscow, 4 militia and 5 infantry move to Tula-Lupetsk. That's 4 militia, 5 infantry. From Tula-Lupetsk, 1 militia moves to Oral-Kursk. From Stalingrad, 1 militia and 5 infantry move to Tula-Lupetsk. From Kalmitskaya, 1 militia moves to Donetsk-Kuban. From North Caucasia, I doubt that's on camera. Nope, it is, okay. From North Caucasia, 2 militia move to Kalmitskaya. Guess we'll move this. From North Caucasia, 1 militia moves down to Transcaucasia. So I've got 6 militia there. From Transcaucasia, 1 infantry will move to North Caucasia. And from Transcaucasia, 2 infantry will strategic rail move to Oral-Kursk. So, yeah, I guess I'll just put those 2 chips there. Okay. I think I did all my movement. So, placement of units. Up in Leningrad, I'm going to place 5 infantry. Okay. In Oral-Kursk, I will place 7 infantry. Oh, I should fly my planes back. They'll go back to where they started. The fighter and tactical go back to Oral-Kursk. The fighter from Smolensk goes back to Leningrad. Okay. In Moscow, I will put 5 advanced mechanized infantry. And same thing in Leningrad, 5 mechanized infantry. Let's see, just keeping track in Siberia, in the Siberian War, we were even at the start. I think we were 4 and 4, but then I didn't collect 3, and he did. So he is up 3, I'm down 3, and then I just killed him, and he killed me back. So net-wise, there's a differential of 6 in the Siberian struggle, where he's up 3, I'm down 3. Okay, placement of units. I still have 1 unit to be built in the factory in Novosibirsk. That will be my jet fighter. And then I've got 2 militia upgrades, and I will have those 2 militia upgraded in Tula-Lupetsk. So we'll make 2 infantry, 2 militia turn into infantry in Tula-Lupetsk. 1, 2. Those 2 militia get taken away, and we add in 2 infantry. Let's see, what is this? 1, 2, 3, 5. So it's going to be 7 infantry in Tula-Lupetsk. Alrighty. That is all the placement of units. Due to insufficient factory capacity, 9 infantry and 1 airborne infantry and 1 strategic rocket remain in the place units box. Oh, I've got my Spanish recruitment roll. I've got that teed up on PBE. I need a 5. PBE generated a 2, so I succeed. And I have 8 infantry in Catalonia. We PBE'd, Panzer J forgot to roll for his Spanish nationalists. We PBE'd that, and they did succeed. They also rolled a 2, if I remember correctly. All right. Collect income. So I have the Soviets at 42, plus 3 for my cities, plus 2 for the Soviet Arctic convoy line, plus 4 saved. So 47 plus 4, 51. I collect 51 for next turn. Let's do disposition of forces. Guess we'll start. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Way up there in Kola, I have 1 militia. In A8, there's a coastal submarine. In A13, there's a regular submarine. In A14, there is a heavy cruiser, a light cruiser, and 3 destroyers. In Leningrad, I have 3 militia, 18 infantry, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, and a fighter. In Western Russia, I have 2 militia. In Yaroslavl, I have 1 militia. In Moscow, I have 2 militia and 5 advanced mechanized infantry and a fortification that hopefully will never be completed. In Smolensk, I have a militia. In Oral-Kursk, I have 3 militia. Let's see. This is 25 infantry, 1 cavalry, 5 motorized infantry, 1 light armor, 3 anti-aircraft artillery, a fighter, a tactical bomber, and a air transport. In Tula-Lupetsk, I have, I think that's 5, but it could be 6 militia. Let's double check that. Yep, 6 militia in Tula-Lupetsk and 7 infantry. In Saratov, I have 3 militia. In Stalingrad, I have 5 advanced mechanized infantry. Oh, wait, I said in Tula-Lupetsk I had 7 infantry, but I have these 5. Yeah, because I upgraded 2, and I moved in 5 and 5. So that means 12. I have 12 infantry in Tula-Lepesk. In Donetsk-Kuban, I have 2 militia. In Kalmitskaya, I have 2 militia. In North Caucasia, I have 1 infantry. In Transcaucasia, I have 6 militia. In Crimea, I have 2 militia, 2 infantry. Let's look at some militia that are a little bit further west. Still to be oozed in. 3 militia in western Kazakhstan, 1 militia in central Kazakhstan, 1 militia in Orenburg, 2 militia in Ural, 3 militia in Saratov. I don't know if I said there was 1 militia in Yaroslavl. In Novosibirsk, 3 militia, 1 jet fighter. In Angara, 1 infantry. In Chita, 2 militia, 3 infantry. In Amur, 2 militia, 1 infantry, 1 cavalry. In Magadan, 1 militia. In Yakutsk, 3 militia. Next up is Boston Bruce with turn 12.4, Japan. One note to our viewers, I have the privilege of flying to Denmark tomorrow to play with Morton and his group, and they have, most of them have played 40 plus games. This will be my 15th game, so I look forward to learning from the masters. I will be back on the 18th, so from, at least as far as Russia, I won't have a turnout until a week from now. Sorry to put the game on pause.